All right, finally we have the Land Rover Range Rover P38 Westminster, 2002 model, 4.6 liter V8, solid front rear axles. This one's on coil springs, originally air suspension. Pretty much the top of the line trim model for this year Range Rover before they went to the L322. And you know, it's pretty much, you know, the pinnacle, the most refined version of the vehicle. And one of the, you know, better looking ones in my opinion. I'm not the subject matter expert on P38s, but this one really catches my attention. I love the glass lights. I love the overall mean look of the truck, and the fact that, you know, it's still very recognizably a Rover. You know, I've kind of gone through in some other videos the different kind of quirks and things about these, but as far as an overall impression, I'm very impressed with the way this truck performs. And how it splits the difference between the different model ranges. You know, as a solid axle truck, you know, it definitely has presence on the road. It does have road feel, and it delivers a very decent ride. You know, it also gets decent gas mileage in comparison to the other three. It's really not terrible around town, and it's just a smooth, you know, and very enjoyable, you know, riding experience. It's one of those things that, you know, it has presence and it has a bit of class that you don't get, I think, from the other two. And it's something that you don't really understand until you drive it. You know, it's quiet, it feels secure, there's not a whole lot of rattles, and you can definitely kind of understand what it would be like to drive one of these new off the showroom floor back in the early 2000s, or in, you know, 1996, 97 when these things came out. The appeal is there, and they're definitely starting to become more and more rare to find, with, you know, clean and not all beat up and tore up. You know, these things have you know, great interiors. Again, they're a little bit quirky. They get a lot of bad marks for reliability, but I think there's a lot of owners that didn't do the proper maintenance or pay them the attention I think that they needed. And I think if you can find one that's running and driving and has a great service history, it's a good buy. I personally really enjoy this truck, and I kind of look forward to owning them in the future. So, you know, let's take it for a spin and see how it does. All right, so these P38s are really great on the inside. You know, the material quality is probably not as durable as the Porsche and the Land Cruiser, but it's all there as far as period early 2000s interior bits. You know, there's a lot of kind of BMW era switchgear in this car, and it's all for the most part still functional. You know, I love the classic center clock, the piano black accents. I mean, they're not for everybody, but it kind of works in this truck. It's mean, it's black, and it looks great. Pretty clear gauges. Again, I'm just kind of a big fan of the general layout. This is also, you know, again, it's a pretty heavy duty four-wheel drive, so it has all the options that go along with that. It has a sport mode. I'm not really sure what that does. You know, I don't think it really wakes anything up besides probably adjusting shift points in the transmission. But let's go ahead and demonstrate shifting this puppy into 4 low. It's a little bit different than others because it's all one mechanism. There's no low-high type of lever or button or switch, so you kind of have to drop it down and push it over to get into your off-road modes. All right, so just like that, we are in four-wheel drive, or four-wheel drive low range. So you can immediately, just like the Land Cruiser, feel the ratio is in low. And, you know, that was very simple and easy. I mean, these cars were designed, you know, to be able to go off-road in a very effortless fashion, and it definitely performs that very easily. And it's very clear, you know, there's no other levers. Again, just put your foot in neutral, shift it over, and go from there. All right. And just like that, you're back. All right, going for a quick spin in the P38. there's the pickup. Definitely not a quick downshift. This is only a 4-speed ZF, so you're not going to get a lot of aggressive downshifting and off the line. But it gets up and goes. It's very smooth. The power is delivered, in a very kind of Range Rover Jaguar type sense. It just kind of thrusts you along, and once you're up to speed, it's very comfortable. Let me put my foot down, do a downshift there. Yeah. Like I said, it's adequate. It's not going to snap your neck back or anything, but for what it is and what it does it does it very well. And the road feels great. I mean, I think everyone that's driven one of these loves the view. It's a very commanding driver's seat position. Love the look over the bonnet there, and it definitely checks the box for a special driving experience. Completely opposite of the Cayenne. This feels, it feels a little bit smaller. It feels a little bit more maneuverable since you're sitting up higher. It's not a very long truck, so, it's perfect for actually going around town and in the city and off-road. You're a little bit wider than you might realize, but, for putzing around town and whatnot and just looking great, this thing definitely does well. The coilover suspension, I mean, the shocks and springs have been added to this. A lot of people say take away from the ride quality that the factory always wanted it to have, but I say those people are insane, because why would you want the air suspension from 2002? This rides absolutely fine, and I don't see any real issues with the way this truck's set up. And I actually really enjoy just kind of using it for that intended purpose. So with the P38, I mean, it's got a lot going for it. They hold up very well. They're very rust-free if you can find a good one. They have the Range Rover heritage. They've got the stance and the presence, and a fairly solid drivetrain if maintained properly. But if it was up to me and I had to just keep one, it would definitely be the Land Cruiser. I love the Porsche for what it is. I love the P38 for what it is, but they're all very different and very much the same and unique. They're fun cars to experience, but it's just really a matter of personal preference, and I've kind of always just been a Land Cruiser guy. I just like the dependability and reliability that comes with the brand. Rovers are great. If I didn't have the Land Cruiser, I'd probably own this for the long term, but at the end of the day, this truck is actually sold, and I'll probably hope to get another one day, but I can see where the appeal is, but I'm going to have to give the Land Cruiser the crown for this comparison. So there you have it. Land Cruiser's on top. I think everyone could have called that one. It's just a great long-term truck. It's a long-term investment, and it does everything I want it to with the modern creature comforts and features, off-road dependability, and modification, catalog that I really like in a modern 4x4. It's just a vehicle that I couldn't really replace. I don't know if I sold it what I would actually buy instead, honestly. A 200 series is very similar, but still gets just about the same gas mileage and has about the same interior features. So again, that really kind of changes the game as far as replacement options. So, I don't want to try to think too hard on the topic, but, when there's something you can't really justify getting rid of for those reasons, you can really understand why people hold on to these things and really adore them. So I appreciate everyone following along, and please subscribe, and we'll be putting out some more content as time goes on.